What up, it's your boy Dick Incredible Man, and yes, I am back at it again, and this is Theory Talk episode 2. So I'm a spider, so what? Now, I gotta say, this is crazy, man, because I had notes and I had everything ready to jot down, but I am dumbfounded by the conclusion of everything, and everything that I thought I knew, I don't know anymore, man. Let's get into it.
I don't think I do it good, no, I think I do it great. They would do it if they could, they can't do it, so they hate. Everybody wanna look, but nobody wanna play. Stealing eyes.
So, after finishing all 12 episodes, after binge watching all 12 episodes and finishing them, I'm lost, man, because everything that I thought I knew, I'm not 100% sure anymore, because I'm questioning everything now. What I can say for certain, and without a shadow of a doubt, is that we know for sure that Kumiko hatched 15 years ago. We know that, her doing all this stuff and leveling up in the dungeon was taking place 15 years ago. And that's facts. That's what we know, and that's what we can point out for sure. Everything else is a little toss-up because I'm not 100% sure. But before I dive into that, man, let's talk about the one thing that I noticed while we were watching the entire series is that in the very beginning in episode 1, when the class is on the verge of being reincarnated, somebody's watching the classroom. I don't know exactly who, but of course it had to be an administrator, right? I don't know who or which administrator, but somebody's watching the classroom and they allowed it to happen, or they made it happen. The explosion or the beam of light or whatever that sucked in all of the students and the sensei, they made that happen because somebody, they made it happen or allowed it to happen because somebody was watching that entire classroom in that moment just before the whole classroom, just poof, it disappeared. Now, with that being said, the only administrators we know so far are Administrator D, and I just learned that the dragon dude, he's an administrator. Matter of fact, Administrator Gulides, whatever. I mean, however you want to pronounce it, but he's an administrator. So there's a possibility there's multiple administrators pulling the strings into this whole new world that everyone got sucked into. Now, with that being said again, what I can't say for sure and what we don't know is who Kumiko really is. Now, we all speculated because, with her popping out and everything, that she was Wakaba. But that's not definitive. We don't have anything to base that on to go off of. We can speculate that all day long and say that, oh, okay, Kumiko is Wakaba, but there's no definitive proof. Now, what I mean by that, again, is that, remember the episode where Shun was having a flashback and all of the students were like in the park or whatever, and the sensei was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the park and have an outdoor classroom day. You remember that episode? Okay, now that episode, at the ending of it, we see the sensei mention everyone by name, and everyone she mentioned by name that we remember, that we can point out to our MCs in in the other world, we know who they are. Every name she mentioned that we can that can be stapled to like those characters, we know who they are. We can point those out like, oh, okay, yeah, I see him. He's the chick. That's the dude with the red hair. I mean, that's the dude. That's Hugo. We know who they are. Nageshi and Kumiko are two characters we can't verify what they look like in the reincarnated world. Now, we've all speculated that Kumiko is Wakaba, but that's not 100% true. Kumiko could be anyone. Kumiko could be someone else reincarnated into this world. And what I mean by that is because if you notice all of the stuff with Taboo, and you know how you obtain Taboo, right? You got to eat someone of your kin, and if you eat someone of your kin, you become a kin eater, and when you become a kin eater, you obtain Taboo. And we know this for sure because of Kumiko and because of Faye. Now, like I said, we don't know Oh, you know what? Dude, if that's the case, then that huge spider that we see in episode 1 has Taboo as well. And if she has Taboo, oh shoot. So if the huge wait a minute. So if the huge spider has Taboo, then that means that huge spider leveled it up more than likely and has knowledge of the world as well. And all of the information that Kumiko has. Now I'm thrown for a loop. See, I came in here with a whole legit plan. I had notes and everything, man. So if the huge spider has Taboo and leveled it up like Kumo did, but I already speculated that Kumiko is the chicken white, you know, like because the powers match. The power set like with Rot and the Abyss and stuff, like that's set up. Okay, let's put it like this then. If Kumiko is still the chicken white, let's sit that on the side and say that she is. I'm not saying she's Wakaba, but Kumiko is the chick in the white. Then that means when Kumiko escapes, that huge spider escapes as well. Dude, that's crazy. Now, another thing could be said as well. That huge spider, Kumiko just assumed it was her mother. There's no definitive proof that that's her mother. That could be another spider in general. That could be another spider in total. That could be another spider altogether. It doesn't have to be a mother. Just because she saw a huge spider standing over those eggs and eating them doesn't mean that that was her mother. If that's the case, dude, that's so much. I gotta go. I gotta keep going. But anyway, like I said about Taboo, that's crazy though, man. About Taboo, you know, you get the knowledge of the world and everything. I took a screenshot right here. Hold on. Taboo. Okay, in the Taboo menu, you get system summary, itemized systems explanation, update history, point index, reincarnation history, and special category N% I equals W. And we've seen that whole little N% throughout the entire series. We saw it with Kumiko while she was doing, I want to say, going through the Pride menu, like the Pride setup. Either Pride or the whole Taboo setup or whatever. And then we see that Hugo has that as well. And if that's the case, then that means that every reincarnation has it. I didn't pay attention to see if Faye had it, like when they showed her stats. I'll have to go back. But if that's the case, then every reincarnation has the whole N% I equals W thing. But did you guys catch what was in the Taboo menu? Reincarnation history. Now, that would explain why the Demon Lord knew Shun's real name. Now, I always speculated, well, like, how did she know his real name? And, like, if she wasn't Kumiko, like, how would she, well, you know, if she wasn't Wakaba, how would she know his real name? But once you obtain Taboo, and you level it out, you get the reincarnation history. So that means you know and learn everyone that's been reincarnated. And that could also mean that the students in the classroom and the sensei and everybody, they could not be the only people that's been reincarnated. Other people could have been reincarnated prior. Because there was a bunch of pictures that flashed by when the Taboo menu popped up. Humanity discovers the MA energy. We've seen that pop up a lot as well, but I don't know what the MA energy means, and I don't know if they explained it in the novel or anything yet, but the MA energy, we learned that the lifespan of the planet is increasingly diminished. Dragons furious at loss. They attack humans. The goddess of Sarael or whatever, and then the countdown to oblivion. Sacrifice to revive the world. And then the administrator Goli Delts Toes or whatever from the dragon dude, and system implemented. And then Serial's wish and the goddess of life support. And it's like repent, and it's got a whole bunch of things saying repent. Now, with all of that information that we were bombarded with, just like Kumiko was, that's a lot to take in. So it seems like I gotta go back. I just forgot it. It seems like the sacrifice to revive the world might have been that whole little inkling as into what reincarnated the classroom. I don't know. Then we have the goddess Sarael, whatever that means. I don't know who that is. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on that we don't have enough answers for. But now that I'm thinking about so much stuff, we don't know who Kumiko really is. We can speculate that she's Wakaba because she knows a lot about a lot of stuff that's taking place in Japan, and cell phones and burgers and Spider-Man and all that other stuff. She knows about that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's Wakaba, because if you remember, like I said, you were with the Sensei, and then she told Shun that Wakaba's dead. Now that could mean one or two things. One, it can mean that she's dead for sure, like she's literally dead, or it could mean that the Sensei never really no. Wait a minute. Could Wakaba not have been reincarnated yet? Think about it. The Sensei says she's dead. Now I said there was a couple possibilities. I thought that it was either that she was actually really dead, or the Wakaba that they knew is dead, because if she is Kumiko, then she's running around killing a bunch of humans. Granted, justified, but she's running around killing a bunch of humans, so that would mean that the Wakaba that they knew is dead. But what if Wakaba hasn't been reincarnated yet? I speculated that she was Kumiko, and then she became the little chick in white. But what if she hasn't been reincarnated yet? Then that means there's still a time frame for her to be born or something. I don't know. I was speculation. It's theory. This is theories. But if Wakaba hasn't been born yet, then who is Kumiko? I, I I chunked it up. I chunked it up to Wakaba being Kumiko when I first watched, when I watched it weekly, and Nageshi was the chick that appeared with Hugo, because we know for sure that you change a little bit when you come to this world, because they mentioned a couple times that Hugo wasn't this aggressive or angry or anything in the real world, but since coming to this world, he's gotten a little agitated and angry and violent, and this world could change you. And I considered that the girl that was with him that decided to help him was Nageshi, and she changed a little bit and started maybe murdering people or something herself, and the Sensei might have stripped her of her powers, and she wanted revenge, and she was using Yugo to help her get that revenge. But that's something within itself, man. But what if Kumiko isn't Wakaba, and Wakaba hasn't been reincarnated yet? That's huge, dude. But that also would give it a little inkling as to when I thought the Demon Lord was Wakaba, because she knew Shun's name. But learning now what Taboo actually does, it gives you the reincarnation history, and that is more likely probably giving you everyone that ever reincarnated into this world, probably, and everyone's real name that's been reincarnated into this world. This show is so deep, man. It's so crazy. There's so many layers upon layers upon layers. It's like it's like an onion. It's like every time you peel something back, there's more. Like every time you peel something back, there's more and more and more. And I'm sticking with the theory that Wakaba's not born yet. 100%. I'm sticking with that. She hasn't been reincarnated yet. Wakaba hasn't been reincarnated yet. If she has, she has to be one of the two spiders that we see, right? Either the big one or the smaller one. Now, I'm speculating that the bigger one, could the bigger one be the Demon Lord? Because we know she ate the itty bitty spiders too. If the bigger one is the Demon Lord, then that means no, that can't be true. Okay, this is what I'm going with. Wakaba hasn't been born yet, or if she has, she's the big spider. Wakaba's the big spider that we see at the end of the dungeon. And the Demon Lord is the itty bitty spider that we see is the story that we're getting. The Demon Lord is because you can say it's going to get confusing because the dragon dude, like when he mentioned to the Demon Lord, it's like, well, whoever thought that we'd meet again like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you could chunk that up to him meeting Kumiko. And and you can say that, oh, okay, well, he met Kumiko, so that has to be her, right? Now, that was my thought process the very first time around. But this time, I'm looking at it a little more in depth. Like, sure, he met Kumiko in that moment. But now looking at it like Kumiko may or may not be Wakaba. And if she's not Wakaba, and all of this is taking place 15 years prior, could someone's reincarnation come after everybody else being reincarnated? Because if Kumiko's reincarnation comes later, that's legit, man. That's some great writing. And that would mean that Wakaba's not the main character, because that's been done before. You know, like, you know, you think someone's the main character and they're not the main character. Because as of right now, we know for sure that Kumiko is the main character, but Kumiko may or may not be Wakaba. I gotta stop, man, because see now it's getting crazy. But so maybe Wakaba's the big spider. I don't know, man. There's so much going on. Shoot. Dealing with everything else, man. Oh my gosh, my mind. I done got so wrapped up down this rabbit hole. How much time? It's 18 minutes. That's crazy. What else we got? Let me look at my notes, man, because I'm tripping, man. I got so wrapped up in that whole rabbit hole. Okay. Let's talk about the Sensei, man. The Sensei herself, like, we see her putting in work to keep Hugo and just rip him of his powers. But that particular thing, she had to access some privileges when she done that. So would that mean that the Sensei is that a skill, or is it like actual administrative privileges? Because we see that people that's actually in the world, like the dragon dude, has administrative privileges, and we know that Kumiko, you know, with the ruler of the ruler of the wisdom, or wisdom of the ruler, or whatever, she got that strictly from Administrator D. And then we know that Administrator D is a fan of Kumiko. She enjoys watching her. So maybe the Sensei got that same kind of treatment. You know, it's like, well, I wish I had something to keep all my students in check. You know, some kind of power ripping powers or something, and boom, bam, ding, 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 ding. Administrator D gave her those powers. See, there's so much to think about, man, because the more you go down this rabbit hole, the further you get lost. I don't know, man. The characters themselves are great characters, but now I'm so focused on the whole Nageshi Wakaba thing, man. I'm trying to focus on other stuff, but my mind is just wrapping up around those two particular things themselves. I don't know, man. I had so many notes, man, you guys, for some other stuff, but it's crazy because now that's the only thing I can think about, man. I gotta end the video. We're gonna be here all day, man. It's your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button until you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.
I cannot complain because today, I'm doing my